Welcome back. Let's start crawling by first creating a very simple text effect. From my host application's effect palette, I look for the BCC 3D objects and open them. Drag Title Studio over and drop it onto the placeholder. Then launch Title Studio User Interface. To make sure we are all starting from the same place, and also to make it easier to understand what's going on, I'm going to delete everything that has appeared here. Click on the top track, the container for the whole effect, and press delete. Now we have nothing, and we are all starting from the same place. Go to the folder here, click, and choose New 3D Container. Don't let the new title container confuse you just now. It's the 3D container you want. It appears here with the name Scene 2D Composite. Go to the next button, Add New Media, click, and choose Flat Text. I can either make sure this is selected and enter the text I want, or I can copy text from a document and paste it in here. Use Ctrl-C to copy the text. Come back here and use Ctrl-V to paste it in. I want to move the text down into the bottom left-hand corner of the title safe area. The way I use most often is to go to the interactors, not the X or the Y, but between the two, so this little yellow square appears. Left-click and drag this down into place. If I wanted to nudge this more accurately, I can now go to my control panel and use the mouse scroll wheel to fine adjust. Next, check the interpolation. As you can see, they are all set to constant, and this suits what I'm going to do, as I want the text to stay in this position the whole time. Now I want to create a fade in and fade out for this text. My timeline is 6 seconds long, and the scale, which you can see here, is in hours, minutes, seconds, and frames. I want the fade in to happen over a period of 1 second, 15 frames to here. Then I want it to hold on screen until it comes to 4 seconds, 15 frames, and from there, fade out. Making sure I have the text selected and I have the keyframe at the beginning selected, I go to Opacity, select the value and enter 0, and the title disappears. The next keyframe is going to be at 1 second 15 frames. However, I have to set the interpolation first. If I click here, I can see that this is set as constant. I will change this to linear so that the value will change gradually between keyframes. Now, to move the cursor along to 1 second 15 frames, I could drag it, but a quicker, more accurate way would be to click on the timecode here and enter 115. That will translate as 1 second 15 frames when I press enter. Now the CTI is at 1 second 15 frames. I create a keyframe by holding down Ctrl and pressing N. Go back to the opacity. At the second keyframe, the opacity should be 100. From this keyframe forwards, I don't want there to be any linear change. Now I want it to hold the value of 100. Be careful you don't make the mistake of choosing constant. That would reset all of the keyframes on your timeline. Move along to 4 seconds 15 frames. This time I'll do it by dragging the CTI. I have to check the time counter as well as the time scale. There we are. Create a new keyframe by holding down Ctrl and pressing N. This keyframe's value is still 100. I want the value to change to 0 when it gets to the end here. So with this keyframe still selected, go up to its opacity settings. Leave it at 100, but change the interpolation back to linear. Now move to the last keyframe and select it. Go back to opacity, set it to 0. If I scrub through here, you can see the effect. At this stage, I could go down to Apply and go back to the host application. But before I do that, I'd like to do the following. I go up to the top left-hand corner to File and go down to Save Project As. Select it, and in my own project folder here, I have a subfolder for saved projects. Open it, give the project a name, Ariake Single, save. Now I can go ahead and apply the effect and go back to the host application. Play the effect. You may be wondering why I saved the project. Let me show you. Here in a new project, I have a placeholder with some carp streamers, and the track below is this volcanic eruption. Once again, I want to make a simple title that fades in and fades out. Because I have saved the previous project, this is now much easier. Take BCC Title Studio, drop it on the carp streamer placeholder, launch the user interface, go to File, open Recent, and here we have the Ariake Single project. Click. Double-click to open the text window. Either write in or paste in. I'll do the same as I did last time. I'll go to Notepad and copy, Ctrl-C, back to the text input window, Ctrl-V to paste in. Apply. And there you can see I was able to use the saved project to quickly make the same effect with a new text. I'm going to go back again to Title Studio, launch the user interface. Next, I'll collapse the text track by clicking on the triangle here. With the text track selected, I press Ctrl and D to duplicate the text track. You see, now I have two text tracks, which are exactly the same. On the one which is selected, I'm going to delete this text and write in English 10 years of Aso eruptions. Then I'll select the text track below, which is the Japanese title, grab the Y interactor and drag it up here. If I now scrub through, you will see that the effect works on both of them. However, it might be nice if the Japanese text faded in first, and then the English text came later. To do that, I would click on the first keyframe on the English track, hold down Ctrl, and click on the second keyframe. Hold down the left mouse button, and if I drag to the right, you will see both keyframes follow along. I'll stop here. Now when I scrub through, I have this effect, which I could save as a project. This time I'll call it ASO Double. Go to Apply, and there we have it. Oh, I just realized, maybe I don't want it to come on so quickly at the very beginning of the track. All I have to do, of course, is drag the placeholder along a bit. And now, it looks like this. That's the end of the first lesson in crawling in Title Studio. Some of you might be wondering why I haven't pointed out the large library of text effects templates in Title Studio. Well, I'm a great believer in the saying, if you give a man a fish, he can eat for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, he can feed himself for the rest of his life. To me, templates and advanced tutorials are fish. I prefer to teach people how to fish from the very beginning. Then, if they are given some fish templates in the future, they will be able to use them as a base to further refine and tweak into their own original ideas. That's all for this one. Hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.